Hi guys, today I'm here with Chris Alsop from Inspector Home. Chris, tell me a little bit about your history or your background in building and what made you purchase a franchise in Inspector Home.
Hi there, my name is Chris from Inspector Homes. I have been basically in the building industry all my life. However, I did start off my working career with the National High Diploma in Civil Engineering from Wits Technikon. I closed my company down, my building company down in February of this year because I'm 62 years old now and I wanted to slow things down a bit in my life. 3 years ago I attended a training course at Inspector Homes and purchased a franchise. And for the last 3 years I've been doing property inspections in the Gauteng region, and I'm finding the work very rewarding.
That's lovely. And how does Inspector Home benefit the consumer?
Inspector Homes basically does any form of property inspection. We do have a focus predominantly on residential work with the inspections of properties prior and post sale. We also do dispute resolutions between unscrupulous builders and homeowners where the homeowners are unsatisfied with the services they've received, and we intervene to try and let things get taken to an amicable solution. We have to produce reports of the highest standard which are fair, honest and unbiased, because our reports have to stand all kinds of scrutiny from all sources.
Okay, that's lovely. And okay, so a purchaser comes to you and he's about to purchase a property. How can you help them?
When we're approached by a purchaser to do a pre-purchase inspection, we obviously need to give them what they need to know to make informed decisions as to whether they go forward or not in terms of buying the properties. It's important that they have all the information so that they can make informed decisions. A lot of sellers will provide a defect list, and through ignorance or malicious withholding of information, they will present a defect list to the purchaser or the prospective purchaser. In essence, they have to trust the seller because their seller is the source of this information. So we like to provide them with additional information on which they can base their decisions and be fully informed. Obviously, when they have a full inspection report, it gives them peace of mind. When they have a complete inspection report as well, it allows them to either budget for unknown repairs to the property, or they can get into negotiations with the seller and fine-tune the offer to purchase to the benefit of both parties, and to bring the transaction to an amicable conclusion. But another important thing to remember from a purchaser's point of view is that should they get a complete property inspection done, then there's very high unlikelihood that they will find further defects post-purchase and find it necessary to litigate against the sellers to recover some of the costs that they will incur having to rectify the defects that weren't disclosed in that report. Another important thing is if a purchaser goes into a deal with his or her eyes wide open and exactly what they're getting into, they're not going to have any buyer's remorse after the deal when it's too late.
Yes, buyer's remorse is a real thing. And okay, so now a seller decides to put their home on the market. What are the benefits for a seller to come to you for your services before putting their home on the market?
Well, the first thing is if a seller comes and requests a full property inspection from a professional, then he or she is making himself or herself fully compliant with the Property Practitioners Act, which is very important, because then should there be any issues further down the road, they have absolutely no risk because they've had a professional do the inspection and supply the report. And in fact, we as professionals take that risk, and most of inspectors carry professional indemnity insurance, which covers us as well in the case of us slipping up and not covering something we should have. So basically it just puts everything in the right place so everyone can be happy and everything can be the way it should be. It also gives a potential seller the opportunity to find out all the faults and defects that there are in the house and all the little maintenance issues that haven't been attended to. So they have the opportunity to do some work on the house and get it into tip-top shape so that when it does go on the market, they can get top dollar for the house they're selling.
I love this. And okay, so all these benefits, all your services, how much does this all cost?
Yes, everyone asks that, and everyone obviously wants a quotation first. Our datum at Inspector Homes for a quotation for a property inspection is a typical 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom family home with a lounge, dining room, sitting room, kitchen, scullery, and a double garage. And we include in our quote the property, the boundary walls, the gates, and all the exterior items as well. Obviously, if there are additional features like granny flats, cottages, servants' quarters, swimming pools, that increases the price slightly, but not excessively. But it is important to understand that the cost of a property inspection actually fades into insignificance when you bear into account the cost of doing remedial work, repair, and also litigation on either party where they feel they've been done by or hard done by, where things are perceived not to have been declared.
I love it. So how much does this all cost?
Well, typically a 3-bedroom house is anything between 3,500 and 4,000 rand, but we do insist on a full property description before we give a quotation so that we can give an accurate and fair quotation for our services to our clients.
No, that's not bad at all. And frequently asked questions.
The most frequently asked question is, of course, what do we do? What is included in our service? And we like to say that we stick our noses into all the corners because we climb on a roof, in a roof, we do internal inspections, wall inspections, we check for rust, for damp, for cracks, obviously, anything out of the ordinary. And with a trained and an experienced eye, these things are very easy to pick up where a layman might not pick them up on. And basically, all those things will be mentioned in a report. Even things that have got nothing to do with the house, say for example, like a very high groundwater level in the garden, we will mention that because that can have a negative effect on a property.
That's wonderful. And how do people get hold of you?
People can contact you who've got my number, or they can get hold of me on 082 569 4201, or at my email address, which is chrisall@inspectorhomes.co.za.
Brilliant. I love it.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for joining me.
No, you're welcome. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Pleasure.